This week, we are going to focus on the media tab and two areas of the media tab. One being, how to keep the content up to date, and two being how to use it for more than just loading lookbooks and press. So I'm going to start in the wholesale section. And just talk a little bit about the media tab and how traditionally we've been using it, and how and different ideas and concepts and ways that you can also utilize this feature. If anybody has any questions or or can't hear me, go ahead and email your account manager after the webinar, and we will get the recording emailed over to you and answer any questions that you may have. Okay, so to start, in wholesale, I'm going to click into the media tab. So traditionally, we've been training you guys to load in the media tab anything from, lookbooks in the gallery section, which we have here, and then hotspotting those. So being able to hyperlink that style back to the product details so that you could, either buy it from this tab or, create a line sheet from this tab. We've also taught you how to load press in the media tab. So, any publicity that your brand is getting, or any ad looks perhaps that you're getting within any magazine, we've taught you how to load here. There is a third area which would appear right here next to press, where you can actually load videos as well. So that being said, obviously that covers a lot of marketing purposes and a lot of PR purposes for the brand. But, we also have other ideas and other ways that you can load any of your PDFs or visual merchandising guides within this area. So within the gallery, you don't just have to load something called a lookbook, right? I've actually been working with a lot of brands to load additional visual assets, some of which can be, if you have any visual merchandising guides, any inspirational packets that, maybe the design team has used when designing the line and coming up with all of the SKUs, and or style guides, that sort of drilled back to merchandised outfits, or just a way that the line is marketed in general, and how to pair together different pieces of the assortment to give the full look and feel of the line, right? So by loading any of these PDFs and JPEGs into this media tab or into the wholesale section, you're getting a lot more mileage out of what you're displaying here. Right. So, if you were to, load again, like any press in here, I definitely encourage you not just loading some of the stuff that you're getting from PR, not just loading things that are maybe or items that are appearing on celebrities, but also going so far as to load your ad looks here. So if you are purchasing those really expensive pages that appear maybe in the September book of something like a Neiman Marcus catalog, or the December page, or a page in the December book, for, maybe the Saks seasonal catalog, definitely get those loaded into this press tab. And then definitely, add those hotspots that appear here to hyperlink them back, so you're getting more mileage out of those really expensive ad look pages that you've purchased. Also, in terms of lookbooks for the gallery section, make sure all of those are loaded and exposed here, because those are obviously, also expensive to make. And by, adding them to the cloud, they're much more accessible to all of the buyers that are, moving through your portal and shopping some of your goods and trying to get a feel for the lifestyle of the line. Again, I mentioned visual merchandising guides. So, for any of you that have those visual merch PDF booklets that maybe your merchandising team is creating, or maybe your marketing team is creating, all of those should also be loaded here, within Gallery, entitled, maybe visual merchandising spring guide, or whatever it may be. And how those are going to help is that, all of the buyers logging on that are maybe, located globally or located in remote areas, maybe in, maybe the Midwest or whatever, that weren't able to attend market, that weren't able to attend the actual presentation of the line, they can tap into these visual merchandising guides and understand how to reset and re-merchandise the floor as they're selling through the assortment that they originally bought. And that's really, really, really important to sell-throughs, right? So, say somebody buys, for a big department store, if they go ahead and they buy, 10 shirts and 10 sweaters and 10 pants, a really big initiative is how do we lay those out, right, on a T stand or a table so that the story looks complete, and that somebody that's shopping in the store maybe is picking up more than just that sweater. They're getting the shirt, they're seeing all the colorways, and that full display again gives the lifestyle of the line in that store. So that's how department stores work. But this actually is really applicable to all of your specialty stores, and your mid-tier, larger specialty stores. A lot of times those store managers or the people that are selling the goods in the store, they weren't able to attend market. They weren't able to see, how everything was displayed. So if they can tap into new order, and see as they're selling through all of their colorways and sweaters and everything like that, and see how to re-merchandise the line and remake that table, with the sweaters, or maybe remake the T stand or the face out according to what they're selling through. They're going to have much better time displaying your brands within their store, and thus it will sell through faster, right? Um, one sec. Okay, so those visual merchandising guides, definitely make that initiative to load those and get those visible for everybody to access. Additionally, any inspirational packets. So obviously, the design team, when they're coming up with a line, they have inspiration. They have some sort of maybe bio for that delivery, or some sort of inspirational caption that sort of describes the lifestyle or the feeling of that particular line that they're designing. Sometimes, within that too, they'll include their vision in terms of maybe celebrity inspiration, or um, you know uh, where they want these clothes to be worn, but it gives a lot of life and a lot of feeling and a lot of a deeper understanding of what the line means with these inspirational packets, right? And they should be loaded here because, you can encourage then store managers or anybody that's actually standing on the floor to, again, log into new order, go into this media tab and use those inspirational packets for product knowledge seminars to get themselves acquainted with the line, to maybe educate all of the other sales associates in the store, to have them understand the direction of the line so that they can speak to everything that they're selling and sell more. So again, this whole gallery can be used for more than just lookbooks. You should load all of these PDF packets that have to do with the styles within this tab. And then again, I mentioned earlier, style guides. So if you do have any maybe styled looks, or any sort of guides that maybe your marketing team came up with, those should also be loaded here, because again, those are really valuable tools that, if you tell the store managers or store associates that those are actually loaded here, they can log on, and then, they'll understand how to upsell your items better. They'll see, because a lot of times, right, customers will come into the store and they want advice. They'll say, like, I love this sweater, what can I wear it with? And if they have these styled guides available to them within this media tab, they're more able, or they're enabled to upsell easier. So all of that should be loaded here. And then, when you are speaking to your brands, you should definitely educate them that all of those tools, those selling tools, are in this tab, and they should use them, day to day when they receive the line and they're selling it. So I think, overall, the takeaway is that this media tab, it can be used obviously for upsell initially in market, by loading lookbooks. Whoever the buyer is, they could be buying from all products, but they can also be buying from these lookbooks and these lifestyle shots, so that, obviously the buy is larger. You're getting more dollars out of that buyer because they can, understand the line a little bit better and visualize it. But then I think the other takeaway is, to understand, to use this media tab to get more mileage out of, or just to get a higher sell through once the goods are on the floor. Encouraging those store managers to also use the tools that are in this tab to sell all of their items, to understand, all of the products that they're getting into stock and how to display them and what they mean. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I just previewed you basically our demo wholesale media tab, so you can see what a lookbook looks like loaded and what hotspots look like. But I'm gonna go right now and tap into the admin portal. And this is where any admin on the brand can go ahead and edit or create, change, or add to the media tab. So you enter the admin portal and you scroll down to manage media, which is right here. You drill into this. And from here, it's really simple. We give you step-by-step directions on how to get that media loaded and live. So if we want to load something within the gallery tab, we make sure we're within gallery, which we are, and we go add new gallery. And it's as easy as, titling this gallery. So if I'm doing loading my visual merchandising guide, putting a description in if I do have one, and then literally just dragging and dropping the JPEGs over this area right here with these dimensions that it will list for you right here. Each image should be sized. And you just load them all here and you save it, make it active, and then you're good to go. Your entire your visual merchandising guide has been loaded. So it's very fast to do this. They do need to be JPEGs. So if you do have a PDF, you need to split it up into JPEGs and then load each one individually. If you have any issues with understanding how to break out a PDF into JPEGs, definitely contact your account manager and we can provide you some directions on how to do this, but it does not take long at all. Okay, then within the lookbook here, I'll show you one that since it's already loaded, you will see this, it will prompt you with the hotspots. Okay, so for the hotspot. So it's as easy as, going to the tab, or sorry, going to the JPEG, and then you can literally apply the style to that actual SKU. Okay, so you can search the products right here, find the product that you're looking for, and then apply the hotspot to the product. And again, this hyperlinks it back to your All Products tab. So, it becomes more of an interactive lookbook than just something that you're just looking through. You can actually order from it with the hotspots or add it to a line sheet from this hotspot addition, from this hotspot features. And then you save your hotspots. Press works the same way. If you wanted to, again, this is just where you would add, same way that you did in gallery, add another lookbook or, gallery here within the press tab, and it works exactly the same way. So here, you could load something like September ad looks. Or maybe the December Saks book looks, whatever it may be, and you can add captions. And similar to how we hotspotted the item, you can also hyperlink the actual ad look back to the press itself. Okay, and then, last but not least, it's really important that you notice that this active toggle is right in the upper right for any of these albums that you're loading. So this gives you the ability to load all of your JPEGs and save it and not make it active. Turn it on whenever you're ready. And then lastly, you do have the video tab here, and within the video tab, this gives you can load your videos. So if you have any of those assets, you can go ahead and load them here. Important to note though, once you open where you drag and drop the video, once you open this window, it's going to give you all of the restrictions and the parameters to load that video. So it will tell you the accepted file formats right here. And the maximum size does have to be 60 megabytes. So if it's really long, you're going to need to load maybe a section of that. So loading the media tab is really simple. Don't get stuck on the fact that this, you've loaded only lookbooks in the gallery before. Branch out and just title it differently and keep going, again, adding those inspiration packets, style guides, visual merchandising guides, whatever they may be. And the same thing with press. You don't just need to load, who wore what, or an actual, pull from a magazine, you can literally load maybe all of your ad looks here that are pretty expensive. And then afterwards they'll all show here within the media tab, and they'll be live to all of your buyers. The last thing I do want to note and sort of discuss quickly is the buyers that have access to this media tab. So within your contacts tab, obviously everybody should know, you have your companies, and then you have literally, the buyers that come to market and that are buying the line, right? So here's one for you. But what you should also start adding and speaking to your stores about is maybe adding some of the store managers as buyers onto some of your accounts, or maybe adding some of your brand ambassadors for your department stores as buyers onto some of your accounts, so that they can tap into new order. And maybe they're not buying the line, in all products. They're not actually doing the buy, but they are selling the line. So the fact that they would be able to go into the media tab and reference any of these guides will go a really long way in selling through all of that product that's in the store. So think about buyer access maybe a little differently than just the actual buyer that's attending market. Anybody that's selling any of those goods, you can 100% add as buyers to that company so that they can access the products here and sell through things quicker. Also by adding a brand ambassador in here, or maybe the stylist that sells all of these goods for you, that's in Fred Siegel, or whatever, get creative. They'll be able to also upsell. So if they see in media, if they can see if you have styled looks loaded, and they see that sweater and they see the skirt, and they don't have the skirt, that gives them the ability to find it in all products and maybe request their buyer to come back to you guys and add it onto their order. So, you can get a lot of usage out of this tab. And I think it's just really all about getting those assets loaded and then really educating your brands as to what's in there and how to use it. And you should see a massive difference in your sell-throughs. So that's it for today, and it was a little quick. Again, if you guys have any questions or any difficulty when you're starting to load any of these assets, please let us know and speak to your account manager, and we are more than happy to help you. And okay, so thanks so much for joining, and we'll see you next week.